We're live. It is Sunday. We're going to talk about the Bitcoin weekly close, and we're going to talk about some of the top 3 altcoins. I'm paying attention to the cycle. If you guys have been watching the show, you know, and there's actually a lot more than my top 3 favorite altcoins, but I wanted to highlight these 3 today primarily because we got a little bit of news going on here and there. I'm WendyO. I talk everything crypto every single day. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, set all alerts, like this video, and of course, drop me a comment. And if you can see me on YouTube, go ahead and drop me a comment because I had a little bit of a disconnect happening, but I think we're good. Good morning to Mr. R. Good morning to Mixing. We are live, baby. Also, I have a little bit of a poll at the top, okay? What is your top crypto pick? XRP, HBAR, or Solana? I want to know. I'm excited. Obviously, you guys, there's more coins that I like that I've been paying attention to. We talk about it all the time on the show. We like things that are made in the USA. We like things that are going to eventually become spot ETFs one day. And we like things that focus on DeFi, AI, and RWAs, primarily because that is what traditional finance wants. And even though crypto was created to kind of push back against traditional finance, you know, we're still here to make as much money as ethically as possible. Also, too, it is, if you want to go to Bitcoin 2025, it is literally your last chance to buy your tickets. Use code WendyO. I've got code down below, code in the chat, 10% off WendyO. The ticket prices, they went up. And in addition to that, it's going to be one of the biggest conferences. I think there's going to be like 50,000 people there. 50,000 crypto people. So it's in Vegas. If you want to come see me, say hi, come down. It's going to be absolutely fun. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what's going on with the markets. And then we'll talk about Bitcoin. So one of the top coins, well, actually, I'm just going to tell you the top coins, okay? The top coins we're going to focus on today, XRP, Solana, and HBAR. For obvious reasons, but let's go ahead and go over it. And right now, I want to say I think it's in New York, Solana Accelerate is going on. And basically, like each crypto asset or each crypto project, they have their own little summits. And then they attend some of the larger events, which I think is super cool. The reason why is that they really just want to focus on what they are building without any of the outside noise. And I'm here for it. I am 100% here for it. So let's go ahead and talk about this clip right here from Cathie Wood. She says, Solana is anti-fragile and highlights low cost and agility. And the fact that she's out there speaking about Solana at Solana Accelerate is pretty big because she's a pretty big Bitcoiner. Let's hear it.
I would say from a consumer point of view. So Solana has been very interesting. It is what I would call anti-fragile in that it is really one of the few protocols that has gone through a full market cycle, including 2021, when Sam Bankman-Fried was a huge supporter of Solana. So everyone thought, okay, well, that's that. And here we go. It resurrected. And not only that, in July of 24, the number of new developers developing to the Solana ecosystem surpassed that of Ethereum and became the highest. So I think I always say follow the developers. And it is catering, this network, while Ethereum is much more institutional, I would say, Solana is catering to and attracting the consumers because it is much lower cost and it's much more agile, quicker adding updates and so forth. At ARK, one of the things we look for in a new technology is falling costs and accelerating uptake, and that's certainly Solana.
So I appreciate her take here a lot, okay? And she was 100% correct about the history. And Solana actually has been through an entire market cycle because, again, that came out of the last bull run. Had a big supporter SBF, who turned out to be a bad actor in the industry. And Solana, even though it has this problem, which again, every single project has issues, it has proven to really attract retail. And the only thing I would disagree with her, and it's not even a disagreement, it's just an addition onto what she said. Ethereum is for the institutions that we're seeing. And then on top of that, Solana is also not only for retail because of what they're building and how, they're affordable to use, they're fast, et cetera. But we're starting to see institutions kind of look at Solana as well. And I want to say Kraken, they added stocks on their platform. You have to correct me if I'm wrong. I think that they're using Solana. I think so. You have to correct me. But I think that's really cool. And again, Despite everything that was happening with Solana, I always kept a moon bag because you never know, and I'm glad I did, and I've bought more. So that's that's one of the projects I like. Then the next one I want to highlight is going to be this post over here. So this gentleman over here, he's from banksocial.io. I don't know a whole lot about him, but he says that he had a meeting with Ripple team, a great meeting, maybe the greatest meeting in history of international settlements. Hedera and HBAR are still a huge part of the strategy, and now so is XRP. You're not thinking big enough, think big, and 100 times it. So again, I don't know exactly what he's talking about here, but it looks like he's a big fan of Hedera. We know that we're partnered with Hedera Foundation on the show, and Hedera is a project that I like a lot, primarily because it focuses on AI, DeFi, and RWAs. And plus, one of the things I like about them is that they've just kind of got so much going on in so many different sectors. Plus, they had the rebrand with HBAR Foundation to Hedera Foundation, which makes it a little bit more easy to understand. But they're consistently building, they're consistently working behind the scenes with traditional finance, with major tech companies, and essentially kind of with retail to an extent. So I absolutely love that about them. I think that it's wonderful. And even an XRP too. So the next two coins are obviously going to be HBAR and it's going to be XRP. And all three of these coins, Solana, HBAR, and XRP, they all have people, or they all have entities that have applied for spot ETFs. And to me, that's massive. All made in the USA, which I think is absolutely wonderful. And then over here, this is the DeFi aspect of Hedera. 211 million USDC now issued on Hedera. So again, this is going to be the DeFi aspect. The AI aspect, they've got a couple projects working on that. The RWA aspect, they've got, some things working on that. But the DeFi is probably really, really important. The reason why DeFi is so important when we're talking about crypto is because you have to be able to compromise and work with the institutions, which Hedera is doing, but also at the same time have a decentralized aspect to it. Because DeFi allows for everybody to work together, to interact together, to process P2P transactions, to loan, to borrow, whatever that may be. So I think that it's really cool that they're able to do essentially both sides of the spectrum. And XRP, Ripple is more of a banker's coin, but at the same time, XRP is the most popular coin, literally the most popular coin socially. It is what it is. So those are my kind of top three coins to, kind of focus on this cycle. There's more, obviously. But one thing I will say is that Chainlink, the reason why, because I like Chainlink a lot and I hold it, the reason why I didn't mention Chainlink is because I feel like Chainlink is kind of integrated with all this stuff with Solana, XRP, and HBAR to an extent. So, and I've got a video coming up on Hedera. I'm going to drop it next Friday, the 30th. And we're going to kind of talk a little bit more about that relationship. So those are kind of my top three coins. Just wanted to give it to you. Again, not financial advice, not telling you guys to buy anything, really just kind of focus on these ecosystems. And the cool thing about Hedera Foundation is if you're interested in AI, you're interested in building and learning, their foundation is a great place to get these resources. Now, let's go ahead and do a quick market update and smash the like, you guys. Good morning to my TikTok babes, to YouTube babes, to Twitch, and to Rumble. So right now on the daily, we're not looking too great. But that's okay. Interesting that a privacy coin is up 8%. Hype, which there's a lot of hype around hype on X right now. There's this alleged whale that is longing and shorting these massive millions and millions of dollar positions, like 10, 20, $30 million positions. There's a lot of discussion surrounding that. But hype is I think it's it's a super transparent exchange DEX thing. And again, that's why DeFi matters, but really interesting to see. However, on the weekly, we're looking a little bit different. And, kind of sad. We want to see better price action considering Bitcoin 2025 is next week. But let's go ahead and take a look at the charts and see what we're seeing. Bitcoin had a really, really, really nice rally. Really, really, really nice rally. So let's go ahead and reset the chart. Let's do some naked charts over here. Okay. So Bitcoin this week opened at 106. Currently trading at 107, and we got a swing wick high to all-time high at about $111,000. We'll lower that a little bit more. It's hard to do that. Okay. And then we got a swing wick low to $102,000. So pretty wild. Taking a look at market cipher, we're still on our upward trajectory on the weekly, but some of the pink and the purple lines are a little bit in the overbought area, So this is not necessarily a bad candle. I just need us to close above $104,000, primarily because this is a very important area of support from 12/9/2024 and 12/16/2024. We created some really great support, and then from there it's going to be $102,000, which makes sense why we have everything lined up here. Now, taking a look at the daily is pretty pretty overbought. So it looks like we may drop. And if we get a drop for Bitcoin 2025, I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned. Like there is a chart that does show the gaps. I don't know where the heck I have it. I got stuff everywhere. I just got stuff everywhere. But at the same time, this is not bad price action. This is actually pretty good price action. To me, it's not bearish. I mean, we might next week, unless we are able to close above $104,000 and then just have some sideways action. In a perfect world, I would like to see 104. Let's close above 104 and consolidate between 104 and 110 for the rest of the week. Why would I want to see that? Well, when we take a look at this chart over here that I have, we reset it and we kind of just see what's going on. You see all that consolidation there? It creates strong areas of support. And that's exactly what we want to see. We want to see strong areas of support over there. Okay. And let's take a look at the daily. This is the daily. You see all the support over here? You see all the support over here? That's exactly what we want to see for Bitcoin to continue to climb up. Now, we know JD Vance is going to be talking. We might get some announcements. Who knows? You know, there's a big nothing burger over at the dinner. The Trump meme coin dinner. But once we do break all-time high and break above like $111,000, the next target for a lot of people is 125 and then like 140, whatever. So market's kind of stagnant right now. Nothing too terribly sexy going on. But again, I want to see us stay above $102,000. As far as Ethereum goes, Ethereum had a little bit of a rough period over here. We shot all the way up to 2,700 and then we dumped. And now we can't even hold on to $2,500 support, which sucks. So it looks like we're going to be heading down a little bit. So hopefully Ethereum is able to sustain $2,400. If not, we'll tap onto 23. Now, Solana is also dropping a little bit because that's just the kind of current state of the market. Hopefully, if we do drop to 165, we'll be able to sustain. Otherwise, I like the consolidation between 164 and about 185. SUI had that major hack on their centralized exchange, the DEX liquidity pool. So price is dropping a little bit. Looks about $3.32 is kind of cozy. Again, unless we get a really nice reversal there. And XRP again is in a downtrend. We keep tapping on this trend line over here. We're not breaking down below it, which is good news, but we keep tapping on it. I want to see us get back above 240. Now, taking a look at Link has kind of got hit harder than some of the other ones, primarily because we're actually at important support over here, about $14.81. Let's hope that we sustain. If not, we'll probably bounce off at around $14 here. Cardano is another coin that I like. Shout out to the Cardano community. But we dropped down below 77 cents, but kind of sustaining at around 73 cents. And HBAR is now tapping onto the almost a 17-cent support line over here. So hopefully we sustain. Now, what should we be doing this week? And Mr. Jake the Snake said, be careful, guys, weekly candle closing coming sooner than later. Yes, that is true. We are going to be getting the Bitcoin weekly candle closing around, how many hours do we have? About 6 hours. So anything could really happen. And if a lot of you guys are paying attention, we tend to get some announcements on the weekends now, okay? And shout out to Greece. So that's kind of what I'm watching for the week is, and I'm going to be a Bitcoin 2025. So my content's going to be a little bit all over the place because I'm going to be there. I've got some work and different things like that. It's going to be super, super fun. So I hope to see you, Garrett. And I hope that you guys have used my code because that helps me and it's helped support the channel. But this week, there's going to be quite a few announcements. We know that we're going to start, there's supposed to be crypto regulation, like a first draft that's coming on June 10th. Plus we have the Genius Act, plus all the tariff updates. So those are things that you should be paying attention to, whether you're actively trading, whether you're dollar cost averaging, or you're just kind of investing. Why? Well, because if you're somebody that wants to, get a little bit more crypto and do that in a cost-effective way, you got to kind of pay attention to the news. Meme coins are still kind of going off right now. Pump.fun has those crazy streams. People are just being cuckoo over there. I'm not really touching too many meme coins right now, just because it's the same rinse and repeat liquidity, and I'm trying to hold on to my bags. And at this point, I would probably rather put my disposable income into. Hope to see you there too. I'm going to do a meet and greet. I think it's Thursday from 3:30 to 4:30. Like just a little thing, just so I can say hi to people because it's so hard to meet with people. But anyways, what I'm focusing on Bitcoin, chainlink, hedera, XRP, some other big ones too. Again, I'm not telling you guys to buy. I'm just telling you to pay attention to stuff. Anything that could potentially be a spot ETF, you should be focusing on. Anyways, I got a video dropping for you guys a little short later, so make sure to watch it. I like to do some big news updates. Any news breaks, you know that I guys got you. Sending you love and light, and hopefully Bitcoin is able to close above that $104,000 area, and we keep that upward trajectory. If not, be ready.